What's up, everybody? Pete's Basement is live. We are going to talk the Loki finale. We got Ramon. We got Quarancheese with possibly the greatest Zoom name ever. Our man JD Rosario from Unstoppable Comics. And, of course, Juwan from Geek Vibes Nation. What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
Yo, yo.
I do love day drinking. I really do.
Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. You know, I call me. I don't want to say cheap. I'm having a change of heart. You know, so I got this beer belly. You know, and I need to. Yeah, I know, but mine is bigger, and I don't want it to be like that. so they put me on these seltzers, and you know, I wasn't one for them. I think I had a White Claw at your place one time. Cheese, you brought them to Pete's Basement. I had a White Claw there.
Yeah, Pete's a basic white bitch.
Oh my god! And I'm like,
yeah, my mom drinks them. Shut up.
It was like one of the worst things I ever had.
Apple tree.
You're a man. Get this out of here. Yeah?
Listen, at one point, whiskey was the worst thing I ever had. And after you just get used to this shit. As long as there's alcohol in it, you can just tell yourself, like, I'm just getting fucked up. It's not supposed to taste good.
I am, and it's tasting good. It's only 90 calories. For somebody like me, and 0 sugar, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to plug them or anything like that. But goddamn, I could put a couple back and have a nice buzz by the end of the night. You know?
Bro, this is why I drink whiskey. Yeah. Whiskey's like, I don't know, 30, 40 calories a shot. I'm like, fuck it.
Yep. Well, I've been doing it wrong then.
Why do you think I drink straight? It's not just because I don't want hangovers. It's because this is the shortest distance between 2 points.
That's it.
Yep.
I always wanted to ask this. Is it true that if you're drunk, the best remedy is to keep drinking?
If you're drunk that day, I have thrown up and continued to drink. It's not the easiest thing in the world. It's not an amateur move for sure, but you can do it. However, the best cure for a hangover, as they say, is hair of the dog. But you gotta muscle through that. Like the first 2 drinks are gonna feel like just liquid puke, just going right back down.
A nice ice cold shower and some rest. You know, I've had some
bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll, salt, pepper, ketchup.
Oh,
yeah. So,
nice.
So yes, that the morning after for sure. But a lot of people say, and I've tried and it works, is right before you go to sleep, as long as you are not in a complete alliterated drunken stupor, suck down a bottle of water before the sack, and you actually wake up without.
Speaking of not plugging people. There's a thing I use called Motive Cure, MOTIV. I just pour like a little thing like this into a bottle of water. It makes it like liquid Gatorade. Gatorade's liquid, but it makes it like fucking a poor man's Gatorade, and it's a great hangover cure. Okay. Joe said the only issues I have with seltzers is acid reflux. I take a Nexium in the morning every single day for that because otherwise I'd be shot. Like I even look at orange juice and I got agita. So
really,
it's bad.
I'm amazed you even have an esophagus left, Pete.
So am I, actually. Not for nothing.
You know, it worries me that Ramon's not talking because we know he drinks the heaviest stuff of them all. You know what I mean? And that's why if Ramon's playing, they're going to end up, kicked out of their house, tricking on the corner somewhere. Ramon is the one that everybody got to watch out for.
Ramon's just taking that bottle of añejo and it's like,
the paper bag,
All right, let's get into it. Loki finished just yesterday, officially at like 3:00 in the morning. I was awake, and I know a few people were awake. It was absolutely for me. It was the best Marvel TV series yet. The finale delivered with a home run. It was everything that I wanted it to be. I got exactly what I predicted was he who remains is there to warn them about a worse thing that's coming.
Yep.
And Ramon, I'm going to start with you.
Oh, you go to Ramon because
I was going to go.
I'm going to tell everyone. I want to tell everyone that it was the Mastro. I said it. I called it.
Man, it would have been dope, though. It would have been. I'm glad it wasn't Loki, is all I have to say. That would have just been a total letdown. And the way some of these Marvel shows have been going, I wouldn't have been the least bit surprised. But All right,
I mean,
Jay, go ahead.
No,
Start us
I
off.
stole Ramon's thunder. Tell them about the maestro, my brother, please. Por favor. I just wanted to say maestro.
No,
I do like the way you say that, though. It's got a nice ring to it.
I loved it, and a lot of people are getting on this guy's case about the fact that he said Kang wouldn't show up, and they're calling him a liar and shit. But he's not lying. Technically, Kang did not show up.
Right.
You know,
That is true.
Not the Kang we know, not the Kang that's always fighting people. This guy's just he's an evil genius more than Kang the Conquering Time Lord, and it was just perfect. Like, I think we just continue to fall in love with Sylvie, and it was. Season 2 can't come fast enough. I'm curious to how this is going to flow into the movies. He didn't get a jet ski in the end. He got repurposed.
He will.
But
I need Owen Wilson to say "wow" at least once. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I need it in my life. But you know, like these guys are contractually obligated to lie. Like, Jonathan Majors is not the first dude to say, "Oh, I'm not involved," and then be involved. That has happened numerous times before, and like, hell, that's why friggin' Asa Butterfield got fired before he was even Spider-Man, because he was Spider-Man, and we're all better for it that it was Tom Holland. Yeah, he had the part, the dude from Ender's Game.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and we're all better off with Tom Holland, but still.
Jason Statham got that too with Bullseye.
Shit, man, I didn't know that was like he was unofficially official.
Really?
Yeah, he was
the movie or the show?
Bullseye.
The TV show, yeah.
Bullseye, but it got leaked, and his cam didn't like that it got leaked, so they backed out, and then that's how we got the Bullseye we got.
And like, how are you not happy that it got leaked? Like, that's a leak is one of the greatest things for your career, especially when it comes to the Marvel universe.
To be fair, in every interview he's had, he's not a fan of the world, like the world of superheroes and whatnot. Only for him to do Fast and Furious. So
that's because he's not involved in it. That is the age-old, not proverb, but the not folktale, but something with I can't think of the term exactly. But the fox who talks shit about the grapes on the top branch because he can't reach them. Oh, they're probably sour anyway. I can't think of the exact word, but there's a word for it. But you know what I'm talking. Like, he's just being sour grapes about it. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, Joe's got a very interesting question here. He said, "Is Sylvie's Nexus event being a female or killing He Who Remains?" I don't think it's being a female. I think it's because she was predicted to kill He Who Remains. I never thought of that until just now, but that's a really good concept.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would definitely back that because again, it was weird that they went to take her out of her timeline, just to kill her. So it's like you went out of your way to go do that. So it's not because she's a woman; it's because she's obviously going to do something at some point that you're trying to stop before
which he knew about. So it was all, it all had to lead to that moment, from her being, chased after to leading the life that she did in order to get there. That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's like that's the time travel shit that Ramon hates.
Wait,
I know.
Hold on. What's confusing about that though is I don't think it's that. I take that back. I don't think it's that. Because remember, her whole ideology of taking down the TVA only exists because the TVA kidnapped her. We still don't know. So it's a loop around. And again, Ramon, that's why I hate time travel and multiverse and all that. But yeah, okay. Sorry.
It's the grandfather paradox that plagues
exactly.
the Tomorrow War. Right? They stopped it from happening, but then they stopped it from happening because they had the help in the future. So now by stopping it from happening, they don't have the help in the future. So it comes back around. So since there's no help from the future, it ends up happening again in the beginning. So it's like, I've got a cross-eyed, as Austin Powers said.
Time travel will always make the head spin, no matter what.
Look at Ramon. He's giving
him a headache.
It's so frustrating because it's they change time travel for every project that does time travel, and it's like there's no one consistent way to do it. So people just add in little caveats of like, well, you could do this and you couldn't do that, and it's just like, I hate it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Get rid of it.
I've always loved the quantum leap time travel. I can only try
That
and
was
travel
cool.
within my own lifespan. You know, that was always a nice concept. Nobody has ever gone back to the well on that.
I'd like to go back and beat the shit out of 17-year-old Pete. I would definitely cut your fucking hair. First of all,
Yes, you should pop a picture of that.
I've managed to get rid of most of the pictures, but I'm sure they are. I got a lot of high school friends that are still out there waiting to be assholes and just posting pictures.
Yes.
I was just gonna
It's
say,
there.
I was like, it doesn't matter if you got rid of every single one, your friends still have them.
That hair was like down to here, man. It's terrible.
You had the people.
God awful. And I mean, like, this mustache is already pencil thin, but it was like barely in. This was not here. It was just, I was just like all sorts of awful in every which way. So it's terrible.
I was 176 pounds. I lived my best life. I was graduating high school, and I can't say stuff because you're live right now, and it won't be.
Definitely not. This is not getting edited. I'm telling you right now.
Nope.
So any dumb shit said is out there in the ether forever. Forever.
So let's keep talking about Loki.
Let's keep talking. Juwan, we talked about this Tuesday a little bit leading into Loki, and we talked about it yesterday on MCR. And if you guys out there in internet land are not already subscribed to Geek Vibes Nation, I encourage you to go and do that, because we review the MCU new TV shows. We were doing it Saturday because the shows were dropping on Friday, but for Loki, we switched it to Wednesdays, and they're still on the YouTube channel, so go and check it out. I'm there, Juwan's there, whole bunch of people's there, whole mess of people. But go ahead, Juwan, talk us through your thoughts on Loki again.
I thought it was good. Definitely the best finale out of the 3 series so far. It was the most fulfilling. And Jonathan Majors, like, too bad the Emmys have already been locked in, because there is nobody from these 3 series that deserves it more than his just 25 minutes of screen time. Because he's kind of showing you where his range is going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was he who remains. So that's more of the. By the way, I love that they made him more quirky and funny.
Yes.
If anyone reads the comics, he who remains is this shriveled up old man that's just very boring. No one cares about him. So they gave him kind of some life. His Kang is going to be probably, I would say, right neck to neck with Thanos as far as like the most badass villain we've had in the MCU. I loved it. I loved everything about it. I love how he kind of was playing on the emotions of the 2 Lokis. Like, it really sucks that he can't be trusted and you can't trust people. And Loki was kind of just like, oh shit, yeah, that is true. But I swear I'm telling the truth here. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people were upset about the kiss or whatever, because in their mind it's literally the same person. I just, in my mind, she's Enchantress. I stopped calling her Loki once she said the words "I enchant people." So in my mind, she's not a Loki variant. She's just Enchantress.
Right.
To me, it was fine. I didn't really give it much thought, but that ending of that statue was just like, oh, he's coming. Like immediately.
Technically, he's here, but yeah.
Yeah, he's here. No, you're absolutely right. And the last thing, Pete, I said it yesterday. In my mind now that Sylvie has stabbed He Who Remains, I now line that up with this happened right before Wanda hearing her kids in that cabin. So this is kind of like the fallout, the domino effect, rather, of Sylvie essentially just breaking the entire multiverse.
Okay.
I think that's how she was able to hear, because remember, Nexus beings can travel through multiverses. So I think once Sylvie did that and broke it, it opened it to where she could now hear and see different timelines. And one multiverse is where her kids exist, and that's where that lies within. So
the other one,
that's a good theory, because, you know, I don't know if it's just because they come out, you know, sequentially, that we're kind of pre-programmed to think this is happening after this, after this, after this.
Yes.
And we don't really consider that they may be happening simultaneously. Like, Stan Lee was famous for the elsewhere and, have that little blurb with the asterisk on the bottom. And, that's a really cool idea. Like, we all thought, oh, she just heard her kids' souls in Mephisto's realm, which I know we're all hoping for. But it's a good concept that hey, she heard them in another reality where they're still running around. And that's and I want to touch on something else that you said, like the way he was so quirky and everything. Like, first of all, I honestly think that this was because he just spent literal eons alone talking to Miss Minutes, who's basically just an AI. Like
his Jarvis, essentially.
Yeah. So he was just like, ooh, people, like somebody to talk to, somebody to interact with. Like, he was so quirky and happy to see them. And, I was talking to my friend Jean, who is actually in the comments right now, commenting on my term agita, which she hates. Like, Jonathan Majors, I think we're going to see him be a bit of a character actor. Like, I'm hoping his like Kang or whatever, however we see Kang, whether it's a Mortis, Ramatut, whomever, the myriad versions, I hope we see him playing that and being different kinds of Kang, like from the quirky guy at the end of time to a pharaoh to the scientist dude to an evil son of a bitch.
I just hope its use is short as Ultron's different versions. Like of Ultron, to where it was this version got destroyed, and then it made its way to its final version.
Cameos.
I want primary Kang, the one that I remember from the comics and Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I want him to focus in on that one. But if he goes through different variants, I'm fine. Just don't have him last too long. Let's get
it's too confusing.
Right.
Yeah.
Got Vegetable Tube said it's 10:30 in the morning on Thursday. Wow, this made my day. Dude, we're always happy to see you. You make our day. Thanks for always tuning in, brother. Just Your Average Joe, would Neo have broken that vase if the Oracle had not said anything? You shush, because that's and there's too many branches there, man. I can't think about that shit.
Just Your Average Joe. Don't confuse us.
That's not even timeline branches. It's just a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It's just too much time travel possibilities. Along with it, I still think it could be a Nexus event, sort of like Minority Report, which was also confusing. Even though the events that motivator don't happen, will it still happen? Nah, I'm not drunk enough or high enough for that conversation, man. Like, it's early yet. Like, I'll tune in for your stream next tomorrow, and you guys should be following Just Your Average Joe on YouTube, where I'll be in the comments tormenting Joe just like this. Except I'm going to be hammered.
I will say, Pete, I think the multiverse will be a lot more condensed than a lot of people are thinking. Like, we're thinking this is automatically a gateway to everything. I think it'll be a lot more condensed than that. I think Feige knows if he expands this too much, it'll just invite stuff that we just don't need.
It'll invite a myriad of toy lines and toy.
Essentially, that's it, right?
So, I gotta ask this question here.
Go for it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the timeline started to diverge, right? There were branches before Kang was killed. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
But they were usually nipped in the bud.
Right. Okay. Right. So, because Kang said, "Oh, can you hear it? This is where I stopped seeing things." Right. So the branches were starting to form at that point. And then in between that point and her killing Kang, that's when they send Loki back. But did she send Loki back to the main timeline or to one of the branches?
That's a bit of contention there. Like, we're wondering, are there multiple TVAs, or did shit just kind of reset and now Kang's in control?
There has to be one. If not, that'd be too much. It'd be too much to have multiple TVAs.
It works
one
the same way.
time.
JD, remember when the TVA would just set the little device down and it would reset whatever world they were in? So essentially, all it did was everything that happened before she stabbed him, that happened. But now everyone that works within the TVA, even Mobius, they only know a world where Kang was the ruler.
All right, so from what you're saying, and if I'm trying to figure this out, so when she killed him, whatever, a snap, a billion years happened that we didn't see, and then the billion years passed, and it cycled us to that point where they met up.
I think so. Yeah, Kang is in control
so there's
now.
A new, So in your opinion, there's a new primary timeline.
It just replaced it, and that did two things. It replaced that timeline that we knew, and it just told us that Loki is the second Nexus level being in the MCU. Because remember, he had the memories of before, so that told you that he's able to go through.
You're fucking me up. There's too much to think about. You know what I mean? I'm just happy thinking he went to another timeline. I've only had 2 seltzers. You know what I'm saying? And
you got a shotgun at least another 2, man. You got to catch up.
On, man. Don't kill my buzz. You know, now it's like
I don't know. I think we need something a little stronger than alcohol to understand this.
Holy shit.
But yeah, that explains why Mobius didn't even recognize Loki when he dropped back in. You know, but at the same time, you know, the judge's actions are still lingering.
Okay.
And
so
Mobius
then, isn't she the third Nexus being then?
I don't think so, because she's different people. But that particular variant went somewhere.
Right. And we also don't know
where the fuck he went.
Ramon. Look at Ramon. I'm with you, Ramon.
Ramon's head's hurting. He's got 2 fucking leave right there.
The 2 Puerto Ricans in the field are like, no. Just fucking no.
I just put it like this yesterday. Just essentially, it just replaced it. That's it. It just replaced it.
I agree.
What happened before no longer exists. It's the new, and in the new, Kang is the ruler of the TVA rather than who they thought, which was the Time Lords.
That's the easiest way to look at it, because Ramon's right. If it's multiple TVAs, it's just way too confusing. This shit just like the new TVA under Kang replaced everything, and that's just the way it is. Because if you travel back to the past, that past becomes your future, and your present becomes your past, and whatever the fuck Hulk said. I can't even remember that shit. It was confusing then. It's still confusing now because time travel.
It's mainly confusing because in that same movie, he broke half of what he said when Cat went back and just stayed there. It was just like, Hulk said you can't do that. Like, what the hell?
It's like Back to the Future is not bullshit. That's all I have to say. You're wrong.
And that's why time travel will never be possible, because we'll fuck it all up.
Time travel is already possible, man. I'm a conspiracy theorist. Trust me. There's motherfuckers be time traveling. I'm still saving it, Ramon. I'm still saving it. Don't worry.
I can do the conspiracy thing, but I can't say time travel exists. It's not going to happen.
Man, do you want me to send you videos? Like, I'll show you.
Lighters, but time travel? No.
Yo, there's crazy shit going on. Like, there's all sorts of crazy stories. I'll just send you videos. Don't worry. I'll send them to you.
What, the Nicolas Cage vampire thing that killed?
Forget the Nicolas Cage shit. What about the dude that showed up in Times Square with all of these crazy coins, and then he just, like, got arrested and then disappeared? Or then there was the guy in the photo dressed like a modern human. He got like a T-shirt and short. I'm sorry, Ramon. I'm sorry, but Jay got me started.
Yes, he did. He triggered you.
You know what? Because I want to fuck somebody up right now. I want to go out to some random person on the street and say, I'm from the future. I'm your son. Just fuck with them. You know what I mean?
Dude, you know what I'm telling you. I wanted to do this shit to my nieces or my nephew, anybody, where you get like that aging software, you know, like pretend kind of what they look like when they're older. So I wanted to get a picture of that and hang it on the mantelpiece. And then when they look at it, like, who's that? I was like, that's you when you're older. I brought it back to you. I'm from the future. Just to fuck with him, just a little bit.
Look at Ramon. Ramon just sit back like, I can't believe I'm out here with these fools.
Yo, if you look up the internet, like the internet short of SMH, the shaking my head, like you see Ramon's picture there, and it's usually because of some dumb shit I've said.
Exactly it.
Going through the comments real quick. Mr. Wicked, Pete was mullet Clark Kent. I was sort of mullet Clark Kent, actually. I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you know that, but I'm a find you. And I don't like that you know that, because I had the glasses and everything. And yes, the top was growing in, you fuck. The top was growing. It was just the back was longer. Oh man. Jason Squirrel, welcome back, cuz. Thanks for tuning in. That's my cousin. And Tia, welcome to the show. She's laughing at Joe, fucking tormenting me. What do we got here? Crispy Bacon at work now, handling rotors and drums and cases of oil. Don't drop none of that shit. This show makes the work go by easier. Hello from Philly. Man, have a cheesesteak for us. I would love to be at either Gino's or Pat's right now. Or if there's another like neighborhood spot, I would love to know that. But
Prince is on 17th Street.
What's that?
Prince is on 17th Street.
Oh, I mean, Anthony and Sons over here on Graham Avenue makes a pretty bomb-ass cheesesteak.
No, I'm referring to
they
one
don't
in
use
Philly.
cheese whiz. Oh, all right. I was going to say, like, neighborhood stuff. They need to use cheese whiz, though. The whiz is... All right. Cheese, talk us through. You like, caught up on Loki just recently when I said, like, hey, let's do a show. And then you streamlined this shit, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in bits and pieces. Like, I got caught up to, like, episode 3, and then last week I watched episodes 4 and 5 in one sitting. So I got to watch the finale last night after work. And I'm with you. Like, it's, to me, out of all 3, and, like, by far, like, the other shows were, like, really enjoyable, but this one just had me from jump. You know, it was just awesome. Love the ending. You know, I got spoiled already that they were confirming season 2, so I was expecting something a little anticlimactic, but at the same time, still like, holy shit, like, this is about to pop off. And it's just nice to see that, like, this is like really giving the confirmation and just getting the ball rolling on Multiverse of Madness. So, you know, it's going to take Doctor Strange to fix this shit.
Yep.
Loki starts it, Strange to finish it. Hopefully.
And it makes What If basically canon now. Like, it makes everything canon. Let's face it. All of the X-Men, Fox shit, the Spider-Man, even Blade, everything is canon now, as far as I'm concerned. And it puts What If as not just a side story that's to have fun with, but now it's let's explore this multiverse. That's for you, big guy.
I loved What If. I loved the comics growing up. The What If books were great. So
yes.
I'm looking forward to the show.
That was one of my favorite books because, and you know what I'm hoping for, Jay, since you brought it up, like, every one of the What Ifs ended horribly. Like, it was some Twilight Zone type shit. And I hope that they do that. I hope there's no happy endings because What If very rarely had a happy ending.
Yeah.
The very first What If I ever read was what if the Marvel superheroes lost Atlantis Attacks and everybody pretty much turned into a giant snake? And I'm like, I need to read Atlantis Attacks. And that was the very first series that, this is before internet eBay days, so I had to hunt this stuff down in comic shops all over the city and, you know, comic conventions and stuff. Atlantis Attacks is the reason we're here today because that got me started on the hunt, you know? So
one of my favorite annuals.
Yeah, back when events were just annuals, once a damn year. When you actually looked forward to team-ups, not just, oh, Captain America's in this issue, and that issue has Moon Knight, and that issue has the Punisher. God damn it, can I just have Spider-Man fighting Doc Ock, stopping a bank robbery or some shit? Like, I don't need these complex storylines, but that's a whole other show. That's a whole other
You know, it's
shit.
funny to have both Juwan and Ramon here on the same panel because you have 2 separate eras of comic book reading. You've got Ramon, the solid, I read my books when they came out. I have a tome of knowledge in my head. And then you got Juwan. I've only read the Ultimates.
He's still on that from Tuesday. He's still on that shit.
I will never apologize. I will never apologize about that, JD. I prefer the Ultimate.
It hurts me, bro, because it's not just the storylines, right? But we got to know artists who weren't the Todd McFarlanes, who weren't the flashy artists, that were the solid guys. You know, we got to read the Mike Zeck books. We got to read the Kerwin Dreyer books. We got to see John Byrne in his prime. I'm a John Byrne collector, right? So whatever he's done, Alpha Flight, Namor, West Coast Avengers, X-Men, I foam at the mouth for that stuff. His later stuff, like Generations, no, but the other stuff, yes.
I respect that. I just look at it to where it's like, since when I was growing up, I had, obviously everything that came before, and then, I was growing up as the Ultimates were really taking off. I've seen what the originals look like, and the Ultimates just, let's take story out of it. It just looks better. Like, if I have to read this book,
but
I would
read
in my opinion.
I'm not a David Finch
only
fan.
In my opinion.
That wasn't David Finch. That was Greg Land, I think.
Greg Land did the Fantastic Four Ultimate stuff. Kubrick did the X-Men stuff. Finch did, he did the crossover that we were talking about, where everybody died, where the Blob bit this one's head off and that one's
right. That was Ultimatum, which was awesome because it was Magneto who literally used all of his power to tilt the Earth like 1 degree off its axis and just cause mayhem. I'm sorry, anything that shows Magneto's like real power, I'm game for. I love Magneto.
But it's like, everybody likes the Ultimates because it's real, it's gritty. No, it's not. If you were around when Marvel's first came out.
It was Brian Hitch. I just looked it up.
Brian Hitch, excuse me. Right. I'm not a fan of him either. He's got that. They look pudgy. They look like me. You know what I mean? It's Brian Hitch. I'm not a fan of that. Never was a fan of that. Especially, well, whatever. But when Marvels came out, that was, oh my God, we're taking this fantasy setting and we're putting it in a realistic painted world. And
that was when
that as a kid first time. It was like
that was like basically narrated by Ben Urich. That was the Kurt Busiek, Alex Ross.
No, not Ben Urich. It was narrated by the old man that worked with Ben Urich. He was the
okay.
He was the photographer prior to Peter.
That was a long time ago. I'm trying to remember that.
I will say, albeit I will never change my stance from loving the Ultimates. I do understand where you're coming from because I prefer everything before the New 52 for DC. The only thing good I think the New 52 did was give me Quarter of the Owls. Outside of that, you can throw everything else in the garbage. So New 52 for a lot of people is like what the Ultimates is for me. So I get where you're coming from. I just will never change on preferring the Ultimates.
See, I felt 0 Hour years were the best DC.
0 Hour was good. That was Parallax, yes.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, like we're mostly old bastards here, except for Jawan, who has just kind of climbed out of the fetus stage. But I'm kind of an old bastard here too. I love the Ultimates, so I'm with you, Jawan. When the Ultimate Universe came out, it started with Spider-Man, and I'm all for the retelling of stories. Like if you can make that interesting and just redo it. And I loved Ultimate Spider-Man. I absolutely adored it.
I'm going to tell you, Pete, that's what got me into the Ultimates. And it was something as simple as Goblin literally being a goblin and not just this guy just on
he was the Hulk.
He was like hulked out Goblin.
Right.
But that was a point that I didn't like, but all right, go on. I
also like the idea of Goblin attacked Peter at school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about that. He didn't wait till he got dressed as Spider-Man. He was just like, you know what?
Yes.
3? He's at school right now. Let me go kill him in school. And I love that because I hate villains like, oh, let me wait. No, if you know where he's at, go ahead.
Yeah, go kill him.
Go kill him. So, I mean, I love that. The Ultimates I thought were great.
Yes, I love that aspect that they explored so much more of Peter's life as Peter instead of just, Spider-Man and how Spider-Man kind of messes up Peter's life for a few panels, That was a major, even the first issue, you didn't see Spider-Man. The first issue ended with literally Peter Parker on the ceiling whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Just holding on to it. That was pretty good. We didn't see Spider-Man until I think it was issue 3 or so. And when when Ultimates came out, and it was such a weird new aspect of it, and that's where we got the idea that the Hulk serum, the thing that turned Banner into the Hulk, was an attempt at the recreation of the super soldier serum. I loved that concept. That was an awesome storyline.
And Pete, I think you shared it with me, loving Hulk running around New York City trying to kill Freddie Prinze Jr.
Trying to kill Freddie Prinze Jr. That was hilarious. And it was so meta for the time. I honestly loved Captain America being, some people they akin him to like this right-wing Captain America. I was like, he's a fucking soldier. Let's not forget that. Captain America at his core is a soldier. And when he drops into like
we lost Ramon. We lost Pete.
We lost
Cheese,
Ramon.
it's your show, Cheese. Go ahead, baby. Run with it, Cheese. What do you want
Take
to
it
talk
away.
about now?
I don't know what the
Jeez.
just happened, but we're still here. Holy fuck.
This is Cheese's show now. This is basement. Cheese.
Wait, Pete, this is the multiverse version of this show. So
I don't know what just happened. My fucking internet just died. I came back. I was like, thank God I'm still here. Fuck.
Oh my God, Cheese! I got the perfect title for your show. Since this is not your show, this is not the basement no more. We're calling it Block of Cheese. Block of Cheese. I love it.
I like that. Honestly, Pete, if you want to do like a, I don't know, some sort of show where you just like play guitar to like nerd themes or something like that, we can just call that Block of Cheese. Let's just do that. You got these new guitars, man. Let's do some shit.
Rod, brother.
I mean, yes, that's actually cool. But we'll talk about that. But I had ideas about possibly doing like video game reviews, shit like that. Like that idea, like I just signed up for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, so I'm thinking like maybe you just put it out there for the fans of the basement. Give me ideas of games to review.
Yeah, nice. I like that idea.
It's available on Game Pass.
Tia said Pete dropped out while talking about America. It's a conspiracy. Tia, they are watching and they saw this and they silenced me. Never forget
Big
that
brother.
shit.
Big brother. Oh God.
Scares
We
me.
might have lost Ramon, but that's okay.
no, he said he'd be right back.
Oh, okay, good.
His internet is shoddy to start with, so
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like I loved certain aspects of the Ultimate Universe. Spider-Man chief among them, that's what got me into it. X-Men I thought was really, really good. I didn't get to read Fantastic Four, and what little I read of Ultimates I didn't like just because of how drastic some of the personalities changed. Especially Thor. Like, Thor was just a dick. Like, he's just straight up dick. And I'm like, I want to punch you in the face. Get this out of me. Like,
Gotcha.
I was like, you know what, let me not read this. But I had to come back to read Ultimatum. There you go. But I had the entirety of the Bendis Bagley run, and I think maybe another 10 or 15 issues after that, and then I stopped picking it up until Ultimatum.
Okay.
But there are certain aspects of the universe that they decided to make canon for the movie, or for the MCU, because that's the whole. That's the hope. They were trying to find, they were trying to replicate the serum.
I think that's great canon. That should definitely stay. Love it.
Right. I was turned off by the Ultimate Universe because I was destroyed by a previous Marvel side universe called Heroes Reborn, where Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee tried to reboot.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. People shit on the Spider-Man Clone Saga, but
yes, I do still.
No, but compare that to Heroes Reborn. Spider-Man Clone Saga is a fucking epic. You know what I mean? And at least they righted the ship. They stuck with it long enough to right the ship. I mean,
it's like taking 6 pounds of your own shit, weighing it against 6 pounds of fresh manure. Which would you rather hold?
I'd rather hold the fresh shit than Euro manure, because you know what? It had Rob Liefeld involved with it, and it showed way back when that cunt. Excuse me. Oh, fuck it.
You could say it. I don't care.
Fuck can't commit to anything because he dropped out of Heroes Reborn within a few fucking issues. Right? He was supposed to be doing.
And thank God, because who wants to actually see Rob Liefeld draw shit?
Oh man, he has no commitment, bro. He's all fucking lip service, and everybody that rides his jock, they're fucking bitches. Fuck you.
Bro, one of the best stories I ever heard was from our boy Rich, and he described this. He was online to meet somebody else, and Rob Liefeld's table is next to him. I believe this is the story. And this dude comes over with like a stack of Liefeld books and like plops them on the desk. And Rob's like, "Oh, cool. You want to sign them?" And he's like, "No, I don't care." And he walks away. Just leave him there.
That's beautiful. That is, I would like to buy those books back for that person. I'll do that for that person, bro. Let me show you how much of a this is how much of a fucking chump Rob Liefeld is, right? He was supposed to be here this weekend in New York at the Big Apple Comic Con.
Oh, okay.
Carbonaro changed the weekend of the con so it did not conflict with his other date in Arizona. And guess who dropped out of the con?
Of course
this
he did.
Wednesday, Rob Liefeld.
But that Big Apple Con was what, this coming weekend, the 17th,
Yeah.
16th, 17th, 18th?
Yeah.
Oh no shit! I didn't even know that.
Yeah, dude. So they got Steranko and Starlin stepping in, each taking a day.
Steranko's fucking awesome, and Starlin, forget it. That's like an upgrade. Forget it.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
But yo, this guy, being somebody who's promoted a show before, I know how intricate and how difficult it is to put together all the logistics of it. So for this guy, and Carbonaro's been doing it longer than Juwan's been alive. You know,
it's true.
Jordan, just not a knock.
That's not even. Yeah, that's 100%
He's been
true.
doing this since the '80s, bro. You know, so he's got a little bit of stroke, like that. But even it's still fucking difficult. And he's changing a whole show for one person to be there.
Yep.
And the person's still backed out. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of his or McFarlane's. Just personally, I feel as though both of them have this higher sense of self that affects their projects. McFarlane not allowing God, what's the movie company that just made Invisible Man? I'm
not sure.
Oh man.
Anyway. McFarlane has an ego. Let me cut you off there for a second.
Mm-hmm.
McFarlane has an ego for sure. Like you're talking about like the Spawn movie and everything, not wanting.
That's all I'm talking about. Yeah.
He doesn't want the Spawn movie to be anything but exactly what he envisions it to be, because he doesn't want a repeat of last time. And I mean, Michael Jai White being Spawn, I love Michael Jai White. I want to meet the dude. He's on my list. Like, he's a great martial artist. I follow him on Instagram. He's fantastic. I mean, the movie could have been better. Let's face it. But it was a 90s movie. That aside, and McFarlane's ego for his stuff aside, like, he does not gel well with the CGC. He doesn't do many, like, authorized signings. Like, you can't get a McFarlane signature and get it graded unless he's like totally okay with it and it's a pre-authorized, this is a thing, like we're going to sign some CGC books type of shit. But you can get a McFarlane autograph anytime. Like, he'll sign whatever you want. Just as long as it's not CGC. Yep. But I thought McFarlane was a dick up until this one moment at NYCC, and I really feel the need to tell this story. We were at, like, he was just talking at his booth. He was just there. And people were gathered around like he was the Messiah, like, ooh. And he was talking about just toys, like his love for toys and stuff. And people had like books and stuff to sign, and he was signing them after like the presentation. And it was like 6:58. And you know how them cats at NYCC are. They're like, gotta go, get out, move you toward the door, flaming torches and pitchforks and shit.
Yep.
And like McFarlane's like, okay, they're gonna make you leave. I can't stop that. You have to leave. But I'm going to walk out that door in about 5 to 10 minutes, and they can't make you leave from the front of the place. So if you're there, I'm happy to continue this signing. So I'll see you there if you're there. He didn't have to do that. And that, to me, like, when you kind of consider the fans more so than yourself, like whatever your schedule is, you got to be somewhere or whatever, that really endeared me to him. I'm like, yo, he did not have to do that. And that's a really cool thing for a guy that, let's face it, that famous, that important, to just say, I want to be out there signing. So if you're there, cool. Like,
that
was really cool.
I just didn't like the rumored hang up he had on the Spawn movie being made. Giving Sam and Twitch the forefront, with Spawn just lurking in the back, but calling the movie Spawn.
Right. I'm sure he's a real headache to work with.
I'm like, I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all.
I've worked with people that have worked with him at the in the toy company side. So I'll keep those stories to the side
for private. Yeah, I would. Right. I'd love to hear that.
I'll talk to you about that. Again, this is coming, secondhand, right? So I'd be
Right.
third party to you. But as a business person, you got to respect the way this guy has put his money where his mouth is.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, before the Spawn Kickstarter, you know, he had his figures in FAO Schwartz. He bucked the system. He put his own money behind it. You know, when he was wrong, he was wrong. Like when he paid Tony Twist, the hockey player, you know, the defamatory rights. He had the foresight to know to buy McGuire and Sammy Sosa's 71 and 72 balls because the amount of press that he would get for buying those balls and transitioned it into going into, you know, talking about his books and talking about the toys and stuff like that, going on Howard Stern and having a Howard Stern figure ready and a contract ready on the show for him to sign, and Howard Stern rebuked it. You know, he has put his money where his mouth is a lot. You know, when Greg Capullo, he's talked about this a lot. Greg Capullo's head wasn't in the right space when he was doing Spawn. He bowed out of the issues for a little while. Tom McFarlane was still paying him.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't doing anything. He was like, don't worry, get your head straight. Take care of your
I respect Todd for the simple fact that like people complaining about him the same way they were complaining about J. Scott Campbell. We're like, oh, you don't do comics no more. How come you draw variant covers? You don't draw the interiors no more. And he was just like straight up, I like to design toys. Like that's what I want to do. And like you can't deny an artist that's what they want to do. Like let the artist do the shit that he wants to do. It's that simple. Like yeah, he could draw comics, but the man wants to draw toys. Let him fucking draw toys.
It's the same thing in Hollywood where actors start to become executive producers and directors for side projects. It's a situation where professional musicians become engineers and producers on top of doing their own shit. It's the same thing of a professional athlete becoming a coach after they retire. Like, sometimes like you do a thing for a little while, and you know what? Okay, I've been sitting at the top of this for a long time now. Let me take on another challenge. And if that's his dream. And listen, you have to have clout if you get Metallica to sign on to do action figures.
All right.
Who the hell else has done that?
Well, Funko, but besides them.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's again 15, 20 years later. Like when I have the set. Actually, I think I wound up selling it because I had to downsize a lot of shit. But I had the set of the.
Oh, we lost. Cheese got fucking snapped again.
Yeah.
Yo, internet connection is not what it should be today.
Oh,
all right, but let's take it back to Loki. Jay, close us out with the last opinion. Where are you on the Loki finale? And
I liked it.
How do you feel?
I like the series. Cheese is back. Cheese, you want to finish?
Hey, Cheese, welcome back, sir.
Yo, sorry, the web actually just crashed. Randomly.
It happens, man. It happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes the internet doesn't like what you have to say.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't like what you have to say.
So basically, what you're saying is didn't like what I was about to say because I was talking
about exactly. Jay, take us through it, man. What are your thoughts?
So I liked it. You know, I saw it. I woke up at 6 a.m. and I saw your text message. Holy shit! I was like, Maestro, right? So I went for it. You know, I liked it. I'm tired of everybody complaining about it. Looking forward to the second series. I like what it meant to the entire Marvel Universe as a whole. You know, brought in, even Into the Spider-Verse. Well, this is why Into the Spider-Verse exists. You know? And, dude, Tom Hiddleston's the man. You know what I mean? Tom Hiddleston, he's the new, I was going to call him Jean-Luc Picard. Jesus Christ. He's the new, oh my God, what's his name? Magneto.
Eric Fassbender or Ian McKellen?
No, Professor X.
Ian McKellen.
No.
Oh, Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart, yes. Yes, he's the new Patrick Stewart for me, dude. He just has this voice that I can listen to him read a phone book, and he uses charisma, but you can see he's getting on in the years. You know what I mean? That makeup on his face was really caked up. covering up some of those lines.
Yeah.
You know, those crow's feet, stuff like that.
Happens to the best of us, man.
Yeah, man. But dude, you know, I pop for it. I mentioned it a lot when we were talking on Tuesday. How much I liked Richard Grant, the authenticity of the look.
Yes.
And
I'm hoping with season 2 that we get to see him again. Like maybe we can somehow bring him back, especially with the new, you know, the branching multiverse. Maybe we can get him again.
I want more Crocodile Loki.
I need that pop, yo. I need that pop in my life. I need it.
It's amazing they weren't ready with that when they were ready with Baby Yoda. And I don't care what anybody says. He's Baby Yoda to me. I'm not gonna fucking call him anything else.
Well, to be fair, JD, I think the difference was, I think they weren't 100% sold on the Mandalorian. Like they didn't know what impact it would have, so they were trying to lead. Same thing with Guardian. They were trying to lead with the cuteness and hope that people would at least tune in for that. You know, so I think that's why they were ready at the door with Baby Yoda. And with Loki, it was more so like, how many people will actually know what the hell is going on with you know, an alligator Loki or Thrall?
Yeah, I don't remember an alligator Loki ever.
I tried looking that up, and I don't see it
was like,
anywhere.
was he in the Frog Thor? Was that part of
that?
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah,
he was.
I don't know.
I don't know. Think so.
That
I mean, I didn't know about Frog until, you know,
I think it was just a fun thing. Homework.
See, but there was a Pet Avenger story recently. Was he the villain in the Pet Avenger story?
I don't remember.
I didn't read that.
Huh. I only knew about Throg once I found out about Spider-Ham, and I was just like, no way this is real. And then like when I found out that was real, it was just like, okay.
Walter Simonson,
sometimes I forget how young you are that you didn't know about Throg like right off the bat. I remember that.
No. I'm saying.
No, I'm not dissing you. For once, I'm not. I just it sometimes my old ass forgets.
With that, no, you know, it's funny. That's one of the reasons why I like Secret. I don't know if you guys remember the Secret Wars crossover a few years ago in the books.
With the Dr. Doom shit.
Right, with the Dr.
Yeah.
Doom. So one of the spin-offs was the Thor Corps, right?
Yes.
And if you were a 90s guy, you remember Drago Thor, and he was the Thor with the spiked shoulder pads and the mullet and stuff like that. Then you had Beta Ray Bill. So they brought all of that in. They brought Frog Thor in there. They had Storm Thor in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Storm when she held that hammer, dude.
Yeah. That was a great moment.
Finding out Chris Hemsworth did the voiceover for
Frog. Oh, yeah, that was awesome,
funny, dude. That's funny, man. I'm into that, bro. I like how the guys are extending their, I don't want to say geekness, and maybe it's part of the contract, maybe it's not, but he wants to play What If. You know that's his voice. You know that's Chadwick Boseman's voice in the Guardians episode. You know that's Atwell's voice as Peggy. You know that's Michael Rooker in the cartoon, and it's like it's
I heard a rumor that she might actually show up in Doctor Strange as Captain Britain. Yeah,
really.
I would love to see that.
With Chavez showing up, I mean, it's
possible. Shit.
It's possible. I mean,
anytime I get Haley Atwell on screen, I'm happy.
I love Haley.
I'll say this: everyone that wants all these connected dots of the old Fox universe and everything, to me, put it in that to where it's like little Easter eggs that you can have fun with, and then once you loop it all off, start anew. I want all new everything that you, outside of Deadpool, all new everything that used to exist over there in Fox. I don't want anybody brought over that has already had an arc that we've seen begin, middle, and end of.
Right.
So no more Dark Phoenix?
Yeah. Definitely not. Not for a while, please.
A while? I don't ever want to see Dark Phoenix.
So clearly it can't be done on screen.
There's no other way to do it. You've done it two different ways. It's like it's enough. I'm sorry, JD.
Is it the internet pulling my leg, or did Hugh Jackman take pictures with
Kevin Feige? Yeah, dude. Like
it was legit.
Let's see what happens here. This might just happen.
I just want a new Wolverine. That's all I want.
I want the same Wolverine because Hugh Jackman is timeless, but that's besides the point.
Give me that, because you know what?
I don't want all Wolverine anymore.
Bro, if Hugh Jackman comes back, that means Evans will come back. I mean, he's contracted, but he'll stay longer. That means
We can get
RDJ
Black
will
Widow
come
and
back.
Iron Man again, thanks to this multiverse. Let's look at this the way
Yeah,
it
man.
should be. We can get everyone back now.
Yeah,
Everyone.
man, get 'em all fucking
I'm just
back.
saying. I'm just saying. 3 years ago, we thought no one could lace Wesley Snipes' boots as Blade, and then Mahershala walked across that stage, and we said,
I'm still
"Okay."
not convinced. I'm still not convinced until I see him in action. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. I want to embrace the future, and the future can't be a guy who's been the character over 20 years now.
Yeah,
Let's
but he
move
doesn't
on.
age.
It-
Wesley
it's
Snipes
the
still
thing
looks
where-
fucking 40.
That's what I'm saying. It has
The thing where
nothing
it's gonna
to do with
work,
how they
though-
look. They all look good. I just want, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Seeing Wolverine that tall infuriates me.
Oh,
I
stop.
want it to
Okay,
stop.
no,
I
no,
want it to
I
stop.
can't. I love it, kid.
I
No.
want it to
Ramon
stop.
back.
The
I
the thing,
agree.
The thing that
Tall
gives me
Wolverine
hope.
sucks balls.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, in that
The-
case,
the
they should
thing-
cast me as Wolverine. I'm the perfect height.
Daniel
when you're that
You
tall,
are,
Ramon,
actually.
when you're that tall, you can't suck balls.
Jay has a point.
No,
Well,
but
just go up on people. It's fine. So the thing
Juwan, finish your thought. I have a question from Joe to throw at everybody real quick. But go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I want to embrace the future, and we can't when we hold on to the past so tight. So I want all new. What
What
I
did you
agree.
miss
Yeah.
your calling as a psychiatrist? Like, what kind of fucking statement is that?
I'm just
What
saying.
is it?
Here's the thing: the longer we hold on to it, the more people will become emboldened in the idea that literally no one else will be able to have claws but Hugh Jackman, and I don't want to live in that world.
I feel personally
Yes,
attacked.
I
I'm
agree.
40 years old going through a midlife crisis. I'm trying to hold on to the past here, Juwan.
Yeah, hold on to
Let it
the
go.
fuck?
Let it go, Pete.
No!
Let it
Hold
go.
on.
Let it
Hold on
go.
to all of it.
I
Fuck
agree
Zack
with the youngling.
Snyder. Fuck Zack Snyder.
Thank you.
Fuck
I
everyone.
would agree with Juwan too, because
Go fuck
and
yourselves.
I was gonna
audience.
say, I was gonna say it before. The reason why Mahershala Ali is going to work is because he's a phenomenal actor first and foremost. You know, we were all thinking, okay, you know, and I have to go back to Iron Fist with Sid Jones. You know, it's like, okay, if he gets through the training, he'll be okay. But he's a shit actor. Mahershala Ali is an amazing actor. You can train him to fight with a sword.
Right.
If you have good writing behind him, he's going to excel. He's going to be phenomenal.
Here's a good question. Joe said, do you guys think Marvel would have been better off cloaking the title of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness like they did with Captain America Serpent Society instead of Civil War, so Loki's ending wasn't expected? I still didn't expect Loki's ending. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I just I knew that there would be something about the multiverse, most likely. I still didn't see this coming, though. Like, even despite Doctor Strange's ending, I always thought there was a multiverse. And the fact that now we've been shown that, oh, it was just one universe and now we have a multiverse, that still hit me. Like, oh, wow.
Right.
Like,
Correction.
you guys.
I would say no, because they didn't cloak that Captain America movie. He said it on stage, and then 3 seconds later said,
Right.
We're just joking, guys. It's Civil War." So it only, that name only stuck for like 5 minutes, and then he brought out Chris Evans, RDJ, and introduced Chadwick as Black Panther for Civil War. So to me, don't ever cloak it. Don't hide it. We all read the comics, so at one point or another, we'll be able to connect where your stories are and where it's going. Don't hide it. Give it to
I agree.
us.
Totally.
It's funny
agree.
you get
And
that.
also at the
You
same
say like we all
time-
read the comics. Sorry, give me 1 second. I was talking to my friend yesterday because she texted me. My friend Lauren was like, "You have to explain the ending of Loki to me." I was like, "All right, give me 2 seconds." I called her up, and I'm explaining all of this stuff about Kang and Mortis and He Who Remains and the other versions of Kang. She's like, "Where are you getting this information from?" And I was like, "I read the comics, yo. Like, I know the source material. This is why you text me. This is why you have me. Like, this is why I'm here." Like, yeah. But yeah, go on.
I think it's great to just put it out there, let people see what it is, and just enjoy the ride to how to get to the ending. Also, Sylvie didn't create the multiverse. She recreated the multiverse. Technically, there was a multiverse. Kang tamed the shit out of it, and then she came and just broke that, which goes to show you how powerful Kang is and how much of a badass he will be. And I think he's going to surpass Thanos, actually, because he's going to be more purely evil, while Thanos was just a very powerful.
He was a benevolent soul. He just wanted to make everything fair. And we've already seen how the Infinity Gems are useless in the TVA or the Void, like beyond time, because we know from the comics, from the source material, that the Infinity Stones, the gems, are only useful within their collective universe.
Right.
That they don't have an effect outside the multiverse. So
I'm glad you said that, because he did make that very clear. I'm holding the shit together by like a very thin thread. And that thin thread is me breathing. If I ever stop breathing, chaos will ensue. So you're absolutely right. Once she stabbed him, it was just like, well, I told you. And then immediately everything just exploded into a multiverse. So you're absolutely right. One existed, he said it. They had a war about it. He was able to tame it. And that's why he created the TVA, and then boom, she just obliterated everything. So
here's a time travel mind fuck for you. What if this is exactly what happened the last time there was a multiversal war? Because I'm sorry. I shouldn't have even said that. I shouldn't have even said that.
It's not me this time, JD.
Again.
Oh, it's not you this time. I know. I'm so worried about you and your theories and everything. And it's just like,
and Pete just comes out of left field with a boom. Left hook.
I told you
when we would talk our theories, right? In the Pete's group, and then I met Juwan, and I'm just like, focus, just stop.
I
told you I retired though. I retired, JD. No more.
You did. You were very good this time, Juwan. You were. Okay. I gotta say, like when it comes to this episode, just to close it out, I am an absolute sucker for melodrama. Like I loved the conversation between He Who Remains and the two Loki's, where he's like, well, Loki was like, well, you know, you're doing all this. What are you afraid of? Me. Like, oh man, that hit. And then when he was like, if you think I'm evil, wait till you meet my variants. Like that. Those are the kind of lines that really hit home with me. And yeah, I resonate with that. I love shit like that where you're foreshadowing and you're just like you're baiting the hook, if you will, to just like wait till you see what comes next.
I will say that was as impactful as to court them. No, to challenge them would be to court death. And then you see Thanos turn around and you're just like,
yes.
Oh my goodness. So when he's going through saying, some have called me a conqueror, and it's just like, oh, okay. What else? What else?
It's like, I get what you're feeding me. Keep coming.
And then when you see the statue at the end, that's like that Thanos moment to where you're like, it's here. It's coming. We know it's a few movies down the line, but it's coming, and nothing will be the same once he arrives. Quite like Thanos. So I'm with you. That dialogue was important.
So good.
It was the building blocks to that statue where you were like, damn, he's here.
All I wanted was just like a guy at the end. I don't need a big ass villain. I know that these shows lead into more things. All I wanted was somebody there to warn them about what comes next, and I got exactly what I wanted. Loki delivered for me, and on every plate, every dish that I wanted, I got exactly what I ordered, and it was awesome. Yep. And I cannot wait for what comes next, whether it be season 2, whenever that drops, whether it's before Ant-Man, after Ant-Man, I don't know.
I think it'll be right around. I think it might be right around the time as Ant-Man. They also just reported that Loki will be in Doctor Strange too.
I heard yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were waiting for the movie the show to end to announce.
So.
Yeah.
And at this point, it kind of has to be because, like, in my eyes, you really couldn't do a show for Loki unless you were going to do something big.
Right.
He's the Avengers' first villain. like from the comic books and in the movie. He's been fucking with everybody for since time immemorial. So it's only natural that he was given it that either he or Enchantress or both were going to do something that was just going to throw everything out of whack. I love the way it all turned out.
I am looking forward to Baron Mordo showing up. Just like, see, I told you. I did not. I told you. All this shit would happen, and no one listens to me.
Yep.
I'm prepared for that. This movie's gonna have. It's blowing my mind with how much this movie is trying to fit within itself. America Chavez, Doctor Strange, Wanda, Loki, Baron Mordo. We still have. They did tell us who the villain was. I forgot the name of the actual villain of the movie. Not even to mention any possible cameos as they're traveling through the multiverse.
You talk about Doctor Strange, the villain?
Yeah, Doctor Strange. Yeah.
So it's not Nightmare on Mephisto, because otherwise I'm out.
No. Remember, we even talked about it on Figure It Out. That was a
lot of whiskeys ago. I don't know.
That's Shuma. Yes. Wait, Ramon, say it again.
Shuma Gorath.
That's who the villain is. That's who the villain is.
I don't know if he's going to be the villain. Yeah, I know Shuma Gorath because he's very Lovecraftian. That's like tentacles and fucking eyeball. That's totally Lovecraft.
It's fucking fight against him, Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah,
he is.
Speaking of Lovecraft, Pete, have you seen Lovecraft Country?
Of course I have. How do you think I know Jonathan Majors?
Okay, just a second.
Okay, so you know what?
I'm so upset that there's only one season of it.
Yeah, no, that was HBO pussing out. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah,
I don't know what's up with that. Agent.
They didn't want to promote any more Jonathan Majors because he was a Marvel Disney guy. But
whatever her name was, Agent 15 or whatever. And I'm sorry, we move. I don't know the woman's name. I feel awful for it. But she's beautiful and she's so hot. I love her. Everybody was all about like Journey Smollett. And I'm just like, her sister's way hotter.
The one that transformed.
Wunmi Mosaku.
That's her. I love her.
You know what though?
Nice. She can get it.
She's
speaking of Journey Smollett, all right. Google Mbatha-Raw. Yeah, she's got it going on. She really does.
Yes.
But yeah,
Armor doesn't do any justice.
It's been nice to have Journey in that role. You know what I mean? And you could have said, Lovecraft Country was just another, variant of the timeline. Let's keep that connection going. Yeah. Am I reaching too much? This is like my theory.
A little bit.
I just encourage people to read Lovecraft, so this way more people can advocate for Lovecraft Country, so we can get a second season. Can we bring these actors back somewhere else? I don't care where. Netflix, Hulu, fucking somewhere.
I will say one of the biggest things that would help the show is how many Emmys they win.
How do I help that? Who do I gotta kill to fucking make sure that they win?
At this time,
nothing we could do, Pete. Nothing we could do.
They've been released from their contracts to bring them back in. They'll be like, give me that money.
Yeah.
And
I mean, HBO has it, but yeah.
I was about to say, I think they're fortunate enough to be HBO, so it's just like, I can pay it.
Like it wasn't. When I first reviewed Lovecraft Country, I said to myself, like, okay, this isn't exactly Lovecraft, but it could have done more to earn the name in subsequent seasons. It was still a good story. It was a fantastic story, and I had a lot of fun with it. Like, I enjoyed every moment of it. I was waiting for each new episode. So it's not like I didn't enjoy it because it wasn't exact. Like, all we got out of it, let's face it, was the first fucking, episode where they showed a couple of Cthulhu spawn and whatnot. And they had the Shoggoth, which I don't really like. I don't gel with that version of a Shoggoth, but whatever the fuck. I'm a Lovecraft fiend. But all you got to do is just explore more. There's so much in the mythos that you can do with it.
They those 6 episodes or 7 episodes spanned the only 3 books that were made from the author.
Right. I did not even know that
in those books.
I didn't even know that Lovecraft Country was a separate set of books until I don't know, literally a week or 2 ago. So that was news to me. But either way, I would like to see just more Lovecraft on television. I love Lovecraft.
Yeah.
And he's a fantastic writer, and to to just nip it in the bud to those people who say he was a racist asshole. Yes, he was, but he was a product of his upbringing. He didn't know any better until he did, and he started to learn better. He did. Later in life, he was like, oh, maybe my puritanical, psychotic bitch of a mother was not right about other peoples from other walks of life. And unfortunately, he died early before he could really learn better. But it is an example in his writings that he was starting on the journey of learning better, which is really all we can ask for racist assholes. Like, you're starting to learn better. You unfortunately died because it was like the early 1900s and people died fucking mad early. But, you were on the right track, bro. Good.
So, yeah, the best thing for that show's future is it looks like Marvel's probably going to take half of the Emmys. But if Lovecraft can get at least 3, I think that could be something that they could put in the tuck and say, well, look,
I hope
we got you an Emmy, HBO. Like, come on. Why not? Why not let us do something at some point down the line?
Yep.
Maybe make a movie out of it or whatnot.
And I mean, if anybody's ever seen The Color Out of Space, what's up, Cheese? Sorry.
It's not really like HBO to kind of like pull the parachute on a show like that so early.
Right.
I'm surprised. Yeah.
What the hell are they smoking? Yeah, and I haven't even watched the show. I intend to, but I haven't even checked it out, and I really want to.
I encourage everybody to go watch
you guys about it.
The Color Out of Space with Nicolas Cage. Like, you want a good Lovecraft story, good Lovecraft movie? Go watch that. Dope. Totally. But all right, before this runs too long, thanks everybody for tuning in. This has been a Pete's Basement and Geek Vibes Nation review of Loki episode 6 and mostly the whole series. So we will catch you guys next time. We're going to do a Black Widow review probably in about another half a week. We'll give you guys some time to go watch it, whether it's on Disney Plus or in the movies, and then we'll do a spoiler review of that. So in the meantime, thanks for tuning in. And before our collective internets just die on us today, we will see you next round. Salud.
Salute.
See you guys.
Peace.